So what are data hazards? As explained earlier, data hazards are caused because the correct source operands are not available in a particular instruction. Let us take an example of these two instructions. So the first instruction is add R3 with 100 and store the result in register R2. If we see over here, the destination register of the add instruction is a source register of the next instruction. Let us see how both these instructions will proceed in a 5-stage pipeline. Add R2 R300. In the first clock cycle, it will be in the fetch stage. In the second clock cycle, it is in the decode stage. In the second clock cycle itself, the subtract instruction will be fetched. In the third clock cycle, compute will take place. So R3 and 100 will be added in the ALU. For the subtract instruction, these two operands are required, R2 and the immediate value 30. If we fetch the value of the contents in R2, these would be incorrect contents because this instruction follows this add instruction, and that means it requires this value. The value which is currently available in R2 has not been written back by the add instruction. The value in R2 will be written back only in clock cycle 5. So this pipeline will have to be stalled till it is written back in clock cycle 5. When the contents of R2 are available at the end of clock cycle 5, they will be sent to the decode stage of the subtract instruction, and from where the pipeline will proceed. So in a way, a kind of a bubble or a stall has been produced which will be passed on to the other stages, and each stage is delayed by these 3 clock cycles. So this is a data hazard. When the source register of a successive instruction is the destination of the previous instruction, and the correct operands are not available to the successive instruction on time, then this causes a data hazard. There are different types of data hazards which can happen. One is the read after write data hazard, also referred to as the raw data hazard. Here we see R2 is the destination for ij and R2 is the source for ij plus 1. Here, in this instruction, this R2 register has to be read, and in ij it has to be written. So this is a read after a write operation. That is why it is referred to as a raw data hazard. As we just saw in the previous slide, because this ij plus 1 instruction needs the value of R2 in the decode stage, whereas ij plus 1 will write the value in step 5, ij plus 1 needs it in step 2. It will have to wait for 3 clock cycles till it gets the correct value of R2. This is called the read after write data hazard. A write after a read data hazard is a problem which can happen when there is concurrent or out of order execution. Here, this register is being read over here and R5 is being written in the next instruction. So this is a write after a read. If in concurrent execution or out of order execution, if there is any chance that R5 is written before ij has been executed, This may happen in out of order execution. So if there is any chance that R5 is written and this ij plus 1 is executed concurrently or out of before ij, then the value that will be available over here will not be the one which should have been there, because this ij plus 1, theoretically it is the successive instruction of ij. This is referred to as a write after a read data hazard. Another hazard is called the write after a write. In ij, R2 is being written. Here also in this ij plus 1, R2 is also being written again. The final value of R2 should be this, the one that is being computed in ij plus 1. If again in a concurrent execution or out of order execution, if by any chance ij plus 1 is executed before ij, the write stage should be delayed till ij has written in R2. Only after ij has written in R2, then only ij plus 1 should write in R2 to get the correct results of the program. This is referred to as the write after write data hazard.